Hello everybody and welcome back to FM2020 with me, TDavy1. We are with York City and our 4th season. I think this is episode 4 as well. All of the 4s. It's 44. It's not 44, it's not. Today it's only going to be one episode. It's going to be the Exeter game because the Exeter game is our 200th game in charge of York City and 200th game on this save, I suppose. That's the whole, I thought it was to be a fun number to stop at and do an episode at. Before we get to that, I need to do a quick roundup on all of the games that we have played. Just lost in the FA Cup, which I was disappointed about. And we need to do a little bit of a look at the team report and how I've tweaked my tactics after those 2 games that we lost last episode, should I say, not last game. I'm going to be honest, I was a little bit salty after these two results. We were 14 in the league, unbeaten. We then go, 12 games in a row in the league, unbeaten. And then we lose 2 games like this. And I thought we played really poorly as well. And some of the ratings reflect that. And I was really annoyed with myself. And I was really annoyed with the team. So I went and sulked in my bed for about an hour. Because what else can you do? There's nothing else to do at this moment. So yeah, after that, I've done a little bit of panic scouting, if honest. I was just going to be like, I was going to buy this, buy that, buy this, buy that. We will have a look at a couple of players. Maybe not this episode, maybe in a future episode. I have started scouting for January because there are a couple of positions I want to improve upon. But what I actually done is I went into team report and had a little look. So let's go to team report now and then we'll get through the roundup after that. So if you go into team report, it'll tell you a lot of basic things. It was in the analysis report is where I found a lot of things. And where we are conceding a lot of our goals from, and that was the main thing that was concerning me, is that we have conceded a lot of goals from the right hand side of the pitch, which would be this side of the pitch down over here, and we've conceded a lot of goals from crosses. So that is an issue. We're playing 3 centre halves, and we've got a goalkeeper who has cracking jumping reach, is great in the air. We shouldn't be conceding many crosses. We should be a lot better at dealing with crosses than we are. And it was all down to this right-hand side, I found out. And it's all because of Thomas Hill. So if we go and have a little look at Thomas Hill, we can see straight away that he is an all-right player for our level. He's a 3-star player. But defensively and technically, he's not the greatest. We were playing him because he had that crossing ability and the dribbling and the first touch. And he had decent enough physicals to play this right-hand side and to offer some serious damage down that right-hand side going forward. That has converted quite well. He's playing very well. He's getting some assists. He's getting some goals. He's getting some player of the matches as well. Good dribbling rating. Passing's not dreadful. Tackle percentage is not awful, but it's not the greatest. And then if we just go and compare him very, very quickly with our other right wing back. Our other right wing back is Nathan Dyer. And as you can see just from this screen, Nathan Dyer is a lot better defensively. He's got the same speed, same physical, same mental. It's the attacking and defending is where these two compare, or where they don't compare, should I say, and they are very different. Nathan Dyer is also 6 foot tall compared to 5'8", which makes him a little bit better in the air. Nathan Dyer has played this game, and I haven't been playing him because he's had a lower rating. But what I forgot to look at really was not the fact that he had lower rating, it's the fact that he has better defending numbers, should I say. His defending per 90, he's winning 1.4 nearly more per 90 tackles, and his tackle completion ratio is 98%. He's not running as much, he's not shooting as well, he's not dribbling, he's not key passes at all. His pass completion ratio is a touch better. Those stats, which are the going forward stats, not as good. Defensively though, he has been a rock. And at the end of the day, our team is built off 5 at the back, and it is a negative formation, and we want to try and keep as many clean sheets as we can. So that is why Nathan Dyer is now starting to be the main man of that right-hand side. But if we look at Nathan Dyer, and I'll just quickly bring him up, there is an issue with him. He's not very good. He's all right. He's a 21-year-old. He's a breakthrough prospect. He's got plenty of time to grow, but we need someone a little bit, maybe not now, but next season, we're going to need someone a little bit above this. And if we look at the league table and see the fact that we are second and could go top of the league today, if we get promoted back to back and go into League One, he's going to get absolutely obliterated, Nathan Dyer is. and he is clearly not good enough. So that is someone that I have spotted as a weakness on our side. And also if you go into team reports and then just go to look at squad depth, you can see this clear as day yourself. You can see that there is a hole on this right hand side. You've only got 2 options. First and foremost, you've got 3 options on this left hand side, and there's no real lead standout player. You could say there's no standout player over here, but we do have 3 very different options, including a prospect who I expect to grow into this role. And if you compare him to Nathan Dyer, this is basically the left hand side version of Nathan Dyer, and look at attributes, apart from defending and speed, he is a lot better, and that is exactly what we want to be seeing. So, and he's also 3 years younger. So yeah, we need a new right wing back. The only other option, position, should I say, that I have spotted an interesting dilemma is going to be in CDM, and we have started to have a look at some CDMs to see if we can upgrade on Estrada. I think Estrada would be a very good backup. I'm not sure he's exactly a regular starter at this point in his career, only being 20 years old, and some of these mentals are really lacking in a player in this position. I would like some better mentals, and I'd also like some better technicals. Physically, he's not far off the pace. One player I was interested to try and find an upgrade on was Adam Maric, and I could not do it. So if you don't know, if you want to find a player who's very similar to the player that you've got already, all you have to do is go to comparison, find similar player, and then the game will bring up some similar players for you. And then all of these players are going to have similar to better attributes to Maric. The interesting thing is, though, is we've got a list of 27 players here. If I then click in interested in coming to me and go to all the way down to doubtful, I get no one. So trying to find someone to replace Adam Maric in the way that Adam Maric plays is going to be very tricky, because Adam Maric is a very unique player because of that high aggression, because of that high bravery, and because of them outrageous physicals. These are physicals that you could find on a Premier League midfielder, not a player in League 2 or non-league. So yeah, very interesting player, a very tricky one to find a replacement for if we ever want to. The 25-year-old, he's in his prime, and it may be time to try and find someone and groom someone into this role. But it's going to be really weird to try and find someone who can play in the same style and drive the play such as an Adam Maric does. He's very physical, can jump, can win headers, can score goals like we saw last season. He's got 3 this season. He doesn't get many assists, and his passing and tackling ratios are okay. Just the way he does seem to dictate games and drive the games forward every now and then with his dribbles and passes and goals can be irreplaceable at times. So when he's injured, it is very tricky to replace him. So yeah, that is my logic. I've had a little deep dive early in the morning to have a look at some different players. We've got a lot on the shortlist, and I've been doing a lot of scouting, which we've done off screen. If we get close to anyone or someone that we may highlight as a signing, we shall say. I may just show off one player very, very quickly who I found who looks like an absolute gem of a player. Problem is, Spurs want about 40 million for him. I really want him. Really want Ben May, but he's too good. And Spurs know it as well, and it's not going to happen. So we may try and loan this guy in. He looks like a cracking player. At the moment, not going to happen though. This is my shortlist. I do have a shortlist. I am looking at other players. we shall see when that comes. So let's get back to schedule, and we will do a rundown of all the games. So after that result, and after I sulked in bed for a little bit and then went off and done some other things with my life, I came back, played some FM, and I beat Wickham 3-1. We went 1-0 up very early through David Ferguson. Nick Freeman then equalised, and I thought, oh god, here we go. Here comes a bad run of form. We looked poor as well until the second half, and I brought Carl McFarlane off the bench for a poorly performing Mooney, and he bangs in 2 goals in 2 minutes. Carl McFarlane does, and wins the game for us. We then away to get Dagenham and Redbridge. Keasley Mooney scores from the penalty spot, not something he does very often, and Ryan Fraser had a really bad game as we drew 1-1 with Dagenham. Marcus Forrest with the nice goal. Maloney had a poor game as well. Maric picked up a knock that didn't help either. So yeah, not the greatest of games, but we do get a point and we keep in the race. We then at home to Mansfield, 1-0 result again. Fazza, Mooney, Kingston, Ferguson all played really poorly. McFarlane came off the bench to grab the goal. That'll do. 1-0 win at home. Keeps us in the mix, and Mansfield are a good side. They were up in the table at the time, so I was very happy. We then went to another league, high-end league side, which is Crewe Alexandra away, and scored 2 goals in 4 minutes. Keasley Mooley and Carl McFarlane started up top for the first time in a long time together. Fazza got dropped out of the squad entirely. He's been awful for about a month, the young lad. He's going through one of them being a young player, so that was that result. Another good result. So that's 2 wins against some 2 sides who are very high up in the table. There's Mansfield, there's Crewe. So you don't win them games, you're not in this race at the moment, which we are in. We then go to Carlisle at home. 4-1 victory. McFarlane and Mooney start up top again, and that is the dangerous duo as they score 2 goals very, very quickly. Taylor does get a goal for Carlisle, but it wasn't to be. Thomas Hill and Max Saunders. I have to show off this goal. I don't normally show off goals, but Max Saunders has scored the most outrageous goal I've ever seen in my life. So let's go watch it, because I think it is the definition of being a showboat. So here we are then, in the final few minutes of the game, already winning 3-1 up at this point. Ben smashes the ball across the post and Saunders done a spin and back heels it into bottom corner. That's right, you just watched that. You just saw our centre mid arrogantly back heel spin a ball like Mario Balotelli into bottom corner. It's outrageous. I was peaking when I saw that. I laughed so hard. So yeah, outrageous. We then go away to League One opposition Charlton in the first round of the FA Cup. I was gutted to draw Charlton in the first round. I'd like an easier tie so we could try and get into the third round and make some big money. First time we've gone out in the first time of asking the FA Cup since we have taken over York City all those years ago. We lost 1-0 to a 78th minute goal. We were poor, but we kept it tight. I couldn't be too unhappy with the boys. We were up against the League One side. We then played another League One side, Grimsby Town, in the Leasing.com Trophy North Group C. And as you can see, it went to penalties, but there was drama. So, Cott scores first, then Adam Marich, then Carl McFarlane, and I think he's won it. But in the final minute of the game, Kieran Phillips scores a goal to equalise. Both of our goals come after Taylor Maloney goes off injured, and we had already made all 3 subs, so we were down to 10 men. And then the game goes straight to penalties, where we have a perfect record and they miss 1 penalty, all because of Darren Cowing. You're going to be like, who's that lad? He is a greyed out goalkeeper. I can't even click on him because he's not a real player. He has them 7s across the board kind of stats like greyed out goalkeepers do, because we had some injuries to both of our goalkeepers. No, Peter Jameson had an injury and OJ went away on international duty, because why not? So yeah, that is that. We win that 2-2 and we're top of the group in that as well. So we're doing very well in the Leasing.com. Yeah, no, we're not top of the group, but we did qualify. So very happy with that. Can't really complain too much. That is that one. So then we get to the game of today, which is Exeter, which is, like I said, our 200th game of the season. Here is the career stats if you want to have a little look. Just some interesting stats in there. 129 wins at 199 games is a pretty solid record. A win rate of 64%, and we have scored 220 goals more than we have conceded as a manager. 3 cup trophies, 1 league, 2 league promotions is very, very good. And so far, I've sold 0 players. It says 1. I go through transfer history, just as you do, very, very quickly. Spot the sell. No sales, no sales, no sales, no sales. Oh, that's a free. Okay, I sold Steve McNutley on a free. That is the only out I have made as a manager. That is outrageous. And I have spent like under 200k. Not much at all, really. So yeah, let's get to today's action and let's get to the team selection as it will finally load up. So we have Sahara out on international duty. We have a couple of other players all over the place, really. This is a bit of a mess, isn't it? So we need a goalkeeper, first and foremost, because we don't have one on the pitch. Who are we putting in goal? Are you fit? Jacob OJ's back from international duty. He can play. The game has decided that this is the team it wants to run with, and I'm not going to disagree, apart from Carl McFarlane should be starting up top instead of Ryan Fazza, because Fazza has been awful. I've also noticed that Ben has a lot better stats comparing to Maloney, so if we ever have Maric out, Ben will start over Maloney on that right hand side centre mid support role. I didn't realise how good Ben was defensively, honest. He's a lot better than I thought, so yeah, he doesn't have the greatest of mentals, but his technicals are a lot better. Here we go then, get kickoff underway on my 200th game in charge to see if we can make it another win on the record as well to improve that win ratio and be even better as a manager. It's been a good 200 games so far, so a lot of cups and a few promotions. We are looking good for back-to-back promotion, which I am slightly worried about because I don't think this team is built for League 2, let alone League 1, despite the fact that we are second in the table. You could argue that we are built for this division, but some of the players, I look at the other teams and I go, oh, you would be a serious upgrade on my player in that position. Like some of my midfielders, there's some better midfielders in this division by an utter mile. I have noticed though that there has been a little bit of interest in a couple of my players, so if we can sell them, make a little bit of money off them and then reinvest that money in some better, cheaper options. Cheaper options in the fact of wages. Adam Maric and Ben are both on like 3.8k. I've seen some centre mids in this division that are better fringe players and on about £600 a week. So we could start saving ourselves. Ferguson with a free kick. Oh my word. I don't normally commentate free kicks because he doesn't exactly do very well with them. That was a stunner and I should have been commentating it. Cracking goal from David Ferguson. We are 1-0 up in this tie. Not sure what the goalkeeper's doing, if I'm honest. He saw that a long way and he was there first. He should have probably saved that, but I will take the 1-0 lead and run with it. David Ferguson has been a little bit poor of late, so we need a good performance out of the boys when it comes to our wing-backs as we try and tinker with the tactics ever so slightly, trying to tell them to not dribble as much. Stay a little bit wide as well, because I'm not trying to stretch the play. Saunders, go on, son. Oh, hit the post. Fuck McFarlane. Oh, it's in the back of the net. We've bundled one in as well. It's looked like it might be going our way this game. 2-0 up after 25 minutes, and Carl McFarlane has scored the all-important goal as well. It's really good press, and then they play a weird ball into midfield. Saunders hits it on the half volley, smashes onto the post, and McFarlane gets there in front of the goalkeeper. I think in real life, the goalkeeper flops on the ground there, and the ref will give a foul on the goalkeeper. That is a great decision that he hasn't, and we get the goal, and we are now 2-0 up in this time and cruising. I would say cruising. Possession stats are very even, but all of the highlights we've seen so far have gone our way. We haven't seen many highlights in this game at all. I've talked this one up. Here's a highlight for Exeter. Sykes. Good tackle by Strada. That's a lumped ball, but only as far as Hart. Now Collins. Back to Batty. And out to Harmon in this right-hand side. Good dribble by the right winger. Poor shot by the lad. He probably should be doing better there, but we won't care about that one. I'm sure their manager is fuming on the sidelines. I don't like how in this game a lot of wingers shoot from that position. They don't try a cross. Here's Ferguson with another free kick. See, that's why I don't commentate them, because they normally hit the wall. Go out for a throw-in. I'll take the throw-in though, but no highlights, so that is clearly not an issue. Yeah, I wish the wingers in that position played like little sly crosses in towards back post, really whipped in and fast, low across the ground. That would be the more dangerous thing. Or just shoot far post. That's the better option, and then have strikers gamble on them, which is something that strikers don't do in this game, which does frustrate me. Die with the ball in towards McFarlane. Saunders brings it down, has a shot, it's deflected, and Ward collects easily. Wow, it's been an action-packed first half with a couple of solid highlights for us and a couple of cracking goals. Ferguson with the highlight of the game so far with that stunning free kick is Oliver. Finds Mayer. Now Saunders. Good long ball over the top for Mooney. Mooney is away. Mooney scores as well. It's 3-0. It's Keighley Mooney with his 12th goal of the season. He is our top goal scorer. Despite being in and out of form and in and out of the side, he is still our top goal scorer, and he is still putting in some really good average ratings that's placed him about 8th in the league when it comes to average ratings, so I can't moan too much. After last episode, should I say, I was fuming and I wanted to rip this team to shreds, if I'm honest, but I you have a little sit down, you have a little think, and then you get on with it. So let's get to the second half. Here we go then, second half kicking off underway, and Sykes will find Hart with that early ball, and we will continue our good form. We're playing very well in this game and see if we can get a couple extra goals and help our goal difference out. I did just spot that Max Saunders has got 2 assists, so he's playing very, very well. I suppose the one goal he hasn't assisted would be the free kick. How did you get an assist on McFarlane's goal? You hit the post. That's not an assist. That's a really, really kind assist game. I'll give it. Max Saunders gets an extra rating, and it'll probably help his morale out, but it's a very kind assist. Here's Dyer in towards Mooney. Mooney, little back pass to Maric. Now it's Estrada. Ball out wide to Ferguson. Ferguson with a blast! Oh, David Ferguson, that is disgusting. And the other thing that is disgusting is the cracking football that we have just played there. Estrada's just played one of the most beautiful, simple passes in this game I've seen. Maric back to Estrada. Look at that. He spotted the gap. Ping. Left peg. Into Ferguson's path. One touch to get out of his feet. One touch to smash it into bottom right-hand corner. That's the better shot. That's the shot that you want to see from your wide players. As a cross goal into far corner. Because if it goes wide and say it comes off the post, it's going to rebound into the box, and if the keeper tips it, it's coming back into the box as well. That's the better option from wide players in this game. Here's Oliver. Now to Maric. We look really good coming forward. We look like we can score any time. Ferguson has out wide left if he wants him. He's found McFarlane. Now back to Saunders. Now it's a long ball out to Ferguson. Into the box. Crossing towards Mooney. Maric with a blast. Oh, it's a great block by the defender. Anna Maric gets there first with his great physicals, but Bold is bundled out for a goal kick. We have started to take control of the game when it comes to possession as well as shots, which is a cracking performance. Look at everyone on that right hand side in our team playing some absolutely cracking football. The only one who's not above a 7 is Jacob OJ, and he's got a clean sheet so far, so I can't complain with this. I don't really want to take anyone off. None of them are that tired, and everyone is playing really well, so this is a good way of just gelling the first team together, because I think this is our first team. Ben just misses out by an absolute smidge. It's a shame for him, and Ryan Fazzo is definitely not as good as Carl McFarlane. McFarlane's got some better technicals when it comes to passing and flair and other little bits like that. That really can set him over the top. He can be an assist maker as well as a goal scorer, Carl McFarlane, and that's something Ryan Fazzo cannot do because he is pure physicals and he has got some terrible, terrible technicals. But he's done a good job this season for us. He has scored some good key goals for us and scored a few as well. I think he's got up to like 6 or 7 on the season. So when Mooney and McFarlane are up to like 12 and 10, I can't turn my nose up at a good 6 or 7 goals, but probably should have been playing Liam Roper a little bit more, as he is also scoring at a good clip when it comes to his goals to game ratio. No one is tired. I forgot to make a sub. I probably should have took Nathan Dyer and Ferguson off, as the 2 wing backs do run their asses off, but it's now at the end of the game. It's been a bit of a weird second half, hasn't it? We scored that 4th goal and shut the game down. It's been a cracking performance, and that is my 200th win as manager. Just give the boys a little team talk to say thank you very much, and we will get to when we will be coming back. So, when will we come back? We shall come back for... Let's have a little look. Let's come back for the Port Vale game, because we missed the Port Vale game last time, and they beat us 2-0 at home. So that could be a serious test as well, and you get to see Nelson Aho in action as well. We'll also play Dagenham and Redbridge, who are 18th in the league at home, which should be a good chance to pick up the W in that one. So yeah, we're going to end it there, I believe. Thank you very much for watching. This is my 200th game in charge of York City. A cracking performance as well. Sorry that the episode before got disrupted due to a faulty cable. I'm going to guess my HDMI cable just janked out when it came to my HD recorder, but I'm not 100% sure. And I will catch you in the next one. Like and subscribe as always. And as always, guys, peace out.